Hi Steve.
How's it going, man?
Fine, and you?
Really well, thank you.
You've had the best year of your life.
Well, I've had a great year. I mean, the best year of my life, I mean, hopefully that's yet to happen, but let's just say the last few years have been very trying, and this last year is me coming back into the light of the good things in life.
Okay. The album is called Transition. Transition means, well, a phase from one to the other.
Mm-hmm.
What is it for you, transition?
Well, it's very much like I said a minute ago, I'm just coming back into myself. I mean, I had a really rough, the last 5 years of my life have been a real awakening. I went through a tremendous loss and also a tremendous rebuild, you know, in finding myself, becoming very healthy, clearing my mind and body and soul out from all things toxic. On a sadder side, the loss of my mom and my marriage. But we're still friends, and we have 2 beautiful children, so that healing is already, you know, sometimes you harbor these long-term resentments and stuff, and that's not really, thankfully, that I don't have to deal with that on a day-to-day basis. And then, then, you know, friends becoming sick, losing some friends getting well. Just turning 55 years old and kind of reassessing what's important to me, reevaluating my whole life, the good, bad, and the ugly, and writing about that from a more mature standpoint, and feeling good about myself again, physically and mentally.
That's good.
And as far as career goes, I've had an amazing year. Amazing experiences that to have it all crammed into 1 year like that, it's pretty amazing, actually.
What?
Well, I mean, I started out the year doing this really kind of cool orchestral gig with some German friends of mine and Ian Gillen from Deep. Hello out there. What can I say? People outside trying to get in here. That was fun. And then I was working on my album. I started last December, and then I went on to G3 with Joe Satriani and Steve Vai, which was a great honor for me.
Why?
And then I, went back and started finishing my record. And then I went out all summer with Ringo and the All Stars, and that was awesome. And
what was the best experience with Vai and Satriani, and then with Ringo?
Well, working with, Joe and Steve and I have been friends for a long time, but being asked to be part of the G3 legacy with some of the finest guitar players in the world, I mean, it's very humbling. I mean, honestly, I didn't really think that I fit into all that, but Joe believed.
Why not? Why not?
I'm just, maybe my own insecurities or whatnot. I just look up to those guys as guitar players and also as human beings. So much, and Joe was so kind. It's Joe's thing, and Steve probably right there. They invited me along for this trip, and I was a little nervous at first, but then, I got to go down to Australia and New Zealand as a solo artist for the first time ever. And that was fun, and I had a really, really positive experience, and it was really a lot of fun. And
with Ringo?
Ringo is, the reason why I play music is the Beatles, When I got that call, I was really excited about it. And I was really excited about who else was in the band. Some of them, were old friends of mine. And it was just one of the most positive experiences I've ever had in my whole life.
Did he call you?
Well, the organization called me. He didn't initially call me himself. They asked if I was available and wanted to do it. Actually through Greg Bissonette, who was the double drums on that. The main producer guy, Dave Hart, came to see me play with Toto in France. And he asked if I might be interested in doing it. I laughingly said, yeah, of course. Never really thinking it would actually happen. And now, after this wonderful experience working with Todd Rundgren, who's in town right now, we've been texting back and forth trying to meet up. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to. It was so much fun, and Ringo's my friend, I mean, somebody that I deeply admire as a human being. Once you get past that, yeah, that was the guy in the Beatles, I mean, that legacy is so rich that it's unbelievable. I can't even put it into words, but just to know him as a human being, as somebody, a mentor, as how to live your life and how to carry yourself as an adult, growing older in life, but still retaining that youthful vibe and his way, how healthy he is and how he views life. It was very inspiring to me.
Did he tell you something about the Beatles that you didn't know, or that?
Well, I'd worked with Paul before and worked with George Martin and Jeff Emmerich, who was, the production team there, and I worked with George, and we were friends. I asked a lot of fanboy questions to those guys. With Ringo, I mean, he would come forth with some great stories that were just off the cuff. If somebody mentioned something, he'd go, "Oh, I remember back in the day," and he'd tell a quick little story, stuff that was not necessarily in the history books per se. But he's not like a technical guy that remembers like the recording gear. He doesn't even like to talk about it. It's like whatever. He was more concerned with, just the overall thing. Like we were jamming at a sound check, and he started playing the drum groove to "Tomorrow Never Knows," and like you can play the same part, but when the real guy does it, it's something else.